what do you use then for communicating with the investors? Like what kind of tools have you found to be useful for that?
Sure. So there, we have two different softwares that we use for managing our investors. One is for once an investor invests in one of our deals, we use a software called RealPage AIM. Actually, used to be called IMS, and Investor Management Services or Solutions or whatever. And we use that as our investor portal. So, but only if an investor invests with us do they have access to that, and that's how we manage their financials and their distribution information. And we load all the stuff in the portal, and all their PPMs are housed there and their K1s. And so it's an online portal that our investors can access to be able to have the ability to be able to download documents and have a repository, if you will, of all those different items in it. And then it also allows us to be able to calculate our distributions and our waterfalls, and it does all of our ACH distributions and things like that. And then from the marketing perspective, we actually use ActiveCampaign. And ActiveCampaign does all of our communication. And whenever I have a phone call with an investor, I pull up ActiveCampaign. I'm taking notes inside of the ActiveCampaign so we can have that as additional documentation, not just necessarily just for the SEC rules and regulations, because right now we're doing primarily 506 Charlies, where we don't have to have a lot of documentation when it comes to conversations with investors, but we do it because if I get on a phone call with an investor and one of our other partners to talk to them, I can look up the notes and see what that last conversation was about, what actually transpired. And same thing for myself. When I call an investor, I like to pull that up on my phone because there's a mobile version of it. And I can see some of my last conversations with them. And I'll put things in there like the investor tells me about how many kids they have, where they went to school, who their teams are. And so I'll have all that information in there. It creates an additional rapport building with those investors. And again, continues to deepen that relationship with them.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So you use ActiveCampaign before they invest with you, and then do you use that also some after they invest, like for some communications or?
Yeah, so we do still use ActiveCampaign after they invest to be able to communicate those monthly email updates, because they're all loaded in there as templates. So we can go in there and modify the templates for that particular month. And so all of that is still done in there. IMS does have the ability to do that inside of their program, but we didn't want to have two different types of programs sending out emails to the investors for that kind of stuff. So we keep it all housed inside of the ActiveCampaign.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.